What's up, peoples? Guess what? Guess what? What? We're back! It is your boy, MM2K, back with the one, the only TRS Fusion Wolf. What's going on, peoples?
What's going on, everybody? TRS Fusion Wolf has returned. Doesn't even know how to say his name right, but that's all right because I won in a Mike Tyson fight. Ooh, I got lyrics. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today?
You've been scripting the scribes. Okay.
I'm just so excited about what's been going on lately, man. Everything's beautiful.
I'm messing up big time. I was. We're gonna hear that. Okay, we don't want to hear that again. Cyrus Burke. He said, Cyrus Burke in the chat said, it's about time, you bums. Big ups to Burke in the chat. Yo, we appreciate it. We appreciate you always, man. So we're back with another one, man. Wow, man, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. So how about we reintroduce ourselves to the staff and let everybody know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I'll start with you, TRS. Let people know what you've been up to, man. What's been going on?
Basically, of course, y'all know it's TRS Fusion Wolf. Everybody thought that I was the fanboy of Bungie. So let me start with that, loving Destiny and things like that. But look, man, things are about to change for me. I'm going to do it like The Rock real quick. I do it like The Rock. Finally, the love of a massive games catalog has come back to the Fusion Wolf. It looks like a lot of new stuff's coming out. I'm very excited about it. And some things are a little disappointing, but we'll leave that alone. We'll save that for Christmas. But I'm very excited about what's going on. Just got done with last weekend. Just got done with catching up with everything on the PS4 and the Xbox One E3. So I'm very excited about all that. Looks like we've got a few new things that are going to be coming to go actually add on to my catalog. Because if you remember, basically it was just me with 3 games. It was Destiny 2. It was Destiny 2, Elder Scrolls, and then Far Cry 5 came in. So it's those 3 things that I just bounced from. But now I'm looking at the new inventory that might be coming, and not might be coming, they are coming. And it looks like it's promised. It kind of reminds me of the old Xbox PS2 days, where those different titles were always coming out like that. It almost seems like Xbox got all the contracts for a lot of the PS2 old games. I don't know. They got a lot of stuff. I don't want to go too much into the details, but for those who have already seen E3, they kind of know what I'm talking about. A lot of the games that were showcased there for Xbox, I'm looking at that and I'm like, wait a minute, this is like the whole lineup that made like PS2 famous. so basically, I mean, but I'm excited about it because a lot of my favorite stuff, it is coming back. It just seems like it's all kind of coming back Xbox because at the end of each introduction, you would hear that the fat guy eating the hot dogs in the background. He would always go exclusive, at the end of everything. So I'm like, well, wait a minute, how is that exclusive? These are all like hits that made PS2 pop. Exactly. But I'm with it. I'm with it because I got Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool. I am actually, just to remind everybody, remind them it's been a year, but just to remind everybody, I am going to be getting into some PS4 games, PS3 as well, and just some classics. I'll be doing the Game Pass. So I can, just for the sake of streaming some old school games, just in case y'all have any tips or anything for the older games. I like to use different little tips to try and get through the games. I like steak tips. So basically, everything's going to be pretty fascinating now. We're back. Everything's going good. I'm going hard. And the Fusion Wolf saga on my stream is coming quicker than you think. Just stay tuned.
Woo! What about you? I'm sorry, man. You was getting me.
Oh, you saw her?
Yes, I saw her. I used to love her, man.
Yeah. Oh, they don't know about that.
No, they don't know about that shit.
They don't know about that cut.
Yo, man, E3, man. You guys see the title. But before I get into that, let me for those of you that have been following me, you know the spill. I've been running my goddamn mouth like Archie Bunker, man, shaking my fist at the world, doing my 50-hour long. Yeah, exactly.
See that there meathead?
Calling out all the meatheads. You know what I mean?
Calling all meatheads.
But it's just been a lot of stuff going on, and let me just catch everybody up that may have not been caught up to what I've been doing as of late. I had some concerns with Microsoft, right?
Uh-oh.
Right. I had some concerns with Microsoft because, and before I go too far into it, TRS, I want to warn you. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those situations where back in the day, when I used to play games, like when the original Xbox came out, and TRS and company be playing the games, they're like, "Oh man, hey yo, Most man, get on this." And I'm like, "Man, that's garbage." I'm like, "Man, what is wrong with you, man? You was the pickiest gamer ever." TRS, I just want to let you know I'm back on my bullshit. Okay, I feel like this generation, bro. I feel like I've been giving Microsoft I've been giving them a pass in a lot of ways because. If you remember, I don't know if you remember that E3 that introduced us into these games this generation. But right. I remember watching that E3 and I really didn't see, and this is something that you get, I'm having an awakening, man. I'm having an epiphany. It's something that you were getting on me for the last few months where I was talking about, the Xbox One X and the polygons and the compute units. And you're like, come on, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, man. Like back up, man. Back up, Sonny, before I make my money, man.
Another one.
Exactly. They ain't down with that, man. So I would say, all this stuff, and you'd be like, man, okay, whatever. I just want to play some good games. And so I'm all up in the mix because when you look at the beginning of this generation, it was all about the polygons and the compute units. And when they showed that E3, it was stated that Sony won the E3 because it looked like that they had the more consumer-friendly product. But at the end of the day, it was consumer-friendly, but it wasn't innovative. Like, all Sony did to me was catch up to what Microsoft was already doing when it came to the applications and stuff like that. So they just bridged that gap. But nobody, including Microsoft too, to be fair, nobody was like showing you some new type of gameplay that was innovative and then that was catchy. It just felt like you were getting prettier versions of what we've already had. And it was evident in the fact that you just kept getting all these remakes. Last of Us remake and Halo and all this other, and Gears remake. They remade Gears like 97 times. It only came out last gen. You know what I'm saying? So I really felt like empty. And the only thing, and I hate to say this too, I can't even put Fallout 4 up there. Even though we're Bethesda nuts, I can't put Fallout 4 up there only because it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game. But it feels like Fallout 3 with Minecraft elements. It really didn't break that. Fallout 4 didn't break that mold the way I was hoping. The only thing that broke that mold to me was The Witcher. Excuse me. So you fast forward through this generation. Now we're like 2 years away from the next generation or the next bump up in consoles. And you got God of War that came out for PlayStation. And don't get me wrong, God of War is a great game. When I finish it, I'll have my score. But with that being said, it's not genre defining. It's nothing new. It's just a polished version of the third person over the shoulder that you see from Sony. So what I'm basically saying is that Sony's doing what I expect Sony to do. They're catering to their crowd, and that's what you're supposed to do. But Microsoft isn't, and I'm not a Sony person, so me not liking their stuff doesn't really equate to a whole bunch. But the problem is that I'm a Microsoft guy, and Microsoft isn't giving me the goods. They're not giving me the goddamn goods. So I made a very difficult decision, TRS. I want you to walk me off the ledge if you can. But I mean, I'm here to say it. Drum roll, please. Look, peoples, I no longer claim the Xbox, man. I've signed over to the PC Master Race, baby. Yeah, give me them MS-DOS codes. Yeah,
he's back with the Master Race.
Give me the MS-DOS codes. No. Now TRS is probably rolling his eyes in the back of his head. He's probably saying to himself, "Oh, here goes this same jive turkey crap from before," because I did this before at the beginning of this generation. I was so hard pressed on convincing TRS why he should not do console and why he should go to PC. So then I started doing that, right? When I went to PC, there was so much goddamn cheating, man. My ass flew back to console, man. I was like, oh, goodness, I'm not ready for this work. So, and I pretty much was just, I don't want to say I was damage controlling, but it was cool. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was okay. It was cool. And then as I start seeing things, this generation with Microsoft and so forth, not really bringing it the way that I'm used to, I was just disappointed, man. I was just disappointed. So what are your thoughts, TRS, on that? What do you think, man?
I can't really disagree with you on that. I mean, my thing is I'm a console gamer. That's what I am, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get a new PS4. Because basically what I wanted to do eventually was to be able to switch between the two consoles and give my opinion on the show between the two, because I'm not in this little gang war with the two different consoles. You know what I mean? I'm not into all that.
You ain't playing colors, man?
I just happen to love the Xbox One because it has more of a variety of what I like to play. But I'm sure since I first said that, there's probably a lot more I can get into now with PS4. So I was trying to have them both here and kind of switch back and forth between them. As far as the computer, I've always wanted to get into that with like the most kick-ass computer I could think of and like game on that, because I was interested in seeing. I'm hearing that there's mods all over Destiny. I don't know if that's true, but I'm hearing that's what's going on. But things like my favorite games, I would love to just see them modded out, just to see what would happen. You know, that would be cool. But I'm also hearing that everybody is using those mods and indestructible people are in PvP fights, you know, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's like, I don't want to, I'll be very pissed if I'm fighting against a PvP guy who's invincible and I don't know he's invincible or something like that. I don't know if I want to do that. I heard that a lot of the people are really being absolute jerks on PvP on the PC. Okay. So that's the thing that I've had a problem with that. But as far as my one players or something even like Destiny, I just want to mod it out and just see what happens. But I'm definitely a console gamer, and I'm going to stick with Xbox. I know you're going back to Wolfenstein, you know, to have all the mechanical dogs and stuff running around while you're playing the game. You know, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to bring back the New World Order. I know what it is.
But you know what? Really, and it pains me to do this because there's pros and cons to gaming on, you know, the PC opposed to the console. You know what I'm saying? Like, the biggest con is security. Like, PC is not a platform where it's owned by somebody, so nobody has a divine interest of creating something across that entire platform that is secure. There's just different repositories that have games, and as long as you buy those games, that's all they give a shit about. You know what I'm saying? So that, and especially after last generation, where we had big problems with security, right? From Sony and the 30 million things hacked. That caused problems for me. And that was just my kid's account that I had like locked down and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
shout out to the Gooch.
So I mean, it's like, dude, like what are we doing here? And because I was having those problems on PC, I had to float back. You know what I mean? I had to float back to console. When I floated back to console, I just said, well, let me just enjoy the polygons and compute units, you know? And like you said, as they was having colors, as they was playing colors, you know, PlayStation versus Xbox, you know what I'm saying? All I was arguing when I first came on the scene was the Xbox does have value, and I still think it does have value. For someone like TRS that ain't into the Halos and the Gods of Wars and all this shit, you, TRS, hey, look, Ubisoft, Bethesda, right?
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the majority of gamers. You know what I'm saying? Where they 99.9% of the games that are being played out here are the multiplats. Period. They're available everywhere. That's the vast majority of the games that are being played are the multiplats. So, being that the Xbox One X is a very viable place, I want to say it's the best place to play your multiplats, but it may not be that for you for the simple fact that your friends might all be on PlayStation. It really depends on where your peoples are at.
Right.
But it's a very viable place for you to play your games. The Xbox One family is, but I just want to feel that feeling again.
Oh yeah.
Pause. Yeah. Pause. I just want that feeling again that I got when I was playing BioShock for the first time, man. You remember that? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
loved it.
That feeling that I
my
had,
soul.
man. Yeah. And even playing games like Too Human, that at the end of the day, it wasn't the best game ever, but just for the simple fact that they were trying something new. You know what I mean? And it was AAA, and the game looked nice. You know what I'm saying? It was the polygons and the compute units, and they were trying something new with the game mechanics. You know, I want that feeling again. And to only have one game that kind of got me there, which was Witcher 3, I'm not feeling that. Don't get me wrong. God of War is a solid game, but it doesn't taste different. You know what I'm saying? I want something with a unique taste to it. Pause. I know. I'm out here and I'm going down an avenue that just doesn't sound clean, but just follow me, okay? I want something that just has a different aura to it. And I don't feel like we got it this gen. What are your thoughts, TRS?
I'm always looking for something to take my soul like BioShock did. But I get too excited. Like when I saw the most recent E3. Mm-hmm. There's the Microsoft one specifically. There's a few games on there. I'm looking at of course they show most of the cinematics, not the gameplay, but just looking at most of the cinematics and everything in the storyline. And I'm looking at them and like I'm always thinking during an E3, oh, this might be the next thing that gives me that feeling like BioShock.
Absolutely.
Oh, this might be one of them, for example, was Cyberpunk. Mm-hmm. I mean that. Yeah. Look at that. It looked like DSX 2.0. I was like, wow, this could be it. This could be it. But things usually blow up in my face. I was the same way on the last E3 with Anthem. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm hoping for that. I'm the kind of guy that only keeps I keep like 1 billion games on my external drive, but I only play 3.
Exactly.
I mean, I only play 3. So exactly. It's like, and it's those 3 that grab me. Mm-hmm. Bungie. Well, I'm sorry, Bungie Vision. Yeah. They are coming out with this new set of DLCs. Mm-hmm. The expansion pass, a new expansion pass for Destiny. I'm very excited about that. When you go online, you Google everything, you look into the information for this, and the main gist that you get from it is, oh, they're going to bring it back so that you get that same feel from Destiny 1 and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they said that about Curse of Osiris. Yeah. You know, so it's like, but I'm still dedicated to the game. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm willing to shell out the money and do these expansions because I just like, I'm hoping that the lore comes back. A lot of the lore was missing. Yeah. On this last one, I'm hoping that if you're really going to bring it back or try to bring it back the way you did before, I'll give it a shot. One of the things that I heard on E3 is from Phil Spencer is that he's got a new team of innovative, creative guys. Where were they last year? I mean, what did he grab some guys from college and hey, you seem a little goofy. Why don't you come and write some stuff for it? I don't know what he did, but apparently he's got some new crews, 5 different studios now, new ones. I don't know what I'm hoping that if he can bring back the fire from like the 360 days, this might be worth it. I don't know. I think we see things. I'm not sure. We might see things on 2 different sides with the new games that are coming out. That's why you're ready to escape back to Wolfenstein. To the mechanical Nazis. You're going back to them. But I'm seeing promise. But maybe that's just because I'm not as knowledgeable about the bullshit factor.
No, you brought up a good point. Before I get into that, though, let me big up to the chat, Cybersburg and Neverland, the mod of the year. He says, "Hey, is everybody on the panel from the Berg?" Yes, sir. Yes, everybody on the panel's from the Berg. Big ups to the invisible host, Killer Hill. He will join us one day once he gets over the restless leg syndrome. And then Neverland also said, I remember playing Halo 1 back in the day. Greatness. And here's the crazy thing. I wasn't the biggest Halo fan. I remember that was one of the games that you and SP was playing, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all sitting there, bing, 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 and I'm like, man, this is garbage. Like, man, get out of here with your crazy bull crap, man. I was just, But see, there was so much greatness, as Neverland said, that was out there in the library that I could be picky like that. This generation, no, it's like what you said. You got like 29 teraflops full of games, and there's only 3 that you even want to waste your time with. You know what I'm saying? And people want to say to me, oh, Mo, you don't play no games, man. No, you don't play no games. Look, last generation, when I was doing my review thing, I played everything. Because it was something new and unique about a lot of the games. Even the ones that stunk. There was something new and unique about it. Nobody want to take any risks anymore. And I want to talk about that a little bit more, but let's go to let's go to what's going on, what was happening at E3. Before we do a deep dive into that, TRS, did you have any other questions or comments or concerns?
No questions, or no questions really. But you did mention Halo, and I loved it when I played it, on the older systems, but I lost contact with it because, all in all, I was never a shooter type guy.
Yeah.
Until maybe about Destiny or something like that.
Yeah.
But I love the original one that I played, but here comes that Fusion Wolf retard promise again, that retard hope. I saw the clips for that new Halo. I don't know what they're going to do with it. Maybe they'll throw in some different elements into it. I'm not sure, but I've always asked myself, if Microsoft owns Halo, why hasn't that been constantly hyped up to be the flagship, like a Nintendo's Mario series or something like that? Why hasn't that been the god game? When you think of Xbox, you think of Halo. Oh, the new Halo, the new Mario. I don't understand that. Well, that's one thing I never understood.
Our boy Neverland in the chat, man, that's what he was saying. Like, Neverland's a PlayStation guy. He's a pony, but that's cool. Everybody's welcome. But Neverland said himself, man, he was like, look, I rocks with Microsoft for Halo. And they made this Halo announcement, right, Neverland, where the people were walking in the grass, and there was a rhino there, and it looked like Bebop from the Ninja Turtles. What is that? What is that? I mean, it looks nice, but Neverland keeps saying, like, what is this? Like, I'm not impressed by this. You know what I'm saying? And Neverland has an affinity for Halo. You know what I'm saying? So it's like here. Well, before we do that, let me get in here before I get too skilly bunk.
Why is Halo Infinite not the potential God game to come?
Exactly.
That's all,
why don't we know that or not? You know what I mean? Yeah,
Jeez.
And I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into that because it's like, well, let me do this first because it's frustrating for me. It's very frustrating and it's angrifying for me. And for those of you, after our podcast, I urge you to go and watch Next Gen 720's podcast from earlier today, where he's talking about, you just got to see it. I'm not even going to spoil it. But there was this thing going around that Microsoft is getting spoofed for because they didn't really release no new IPs. They released no new IPs coming from Microsoft, right? But yet they released something instead, and he just went by. It's one of the funniest Next Gen 720 presentations you're gonna get.
I guess it's. I just thought about it. I guess Microsoft didn't really push Halo like it should have and made that the God game, because unlike most console systems, they didn't get their existence from the games. They got their existence because they already had the dough. And it was just an idea, let's come up with consoles. Because if I had a Fusion Wolf system, and the Fusion Wolf system only exists because of my game Collard Greens. Mm-hmm. Every time I have a new system and it comes out, Collard Greens is going to be the main.
Yeah, Collard Greens is going to be the standard. Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be wow.
No, but
they didn't have to deal with that. It's not like Nintendo with Mario and stuff like that, where that's where the capital came from. The fame from those games. They already had the dough. So I guess they don't really care about something like that to stand out. Do they even have a standout character or mascot or anything? Collard Greens will be the most swaggerlicious mascot you've ever seen in your life.
Collard Greens would be. Here's the thing. I'm in Neverland in the chat. Let me ask you this, bro. You said you're hyped for Infinite. With that being said, what did you think of Halo 5? Let us know what you thought of Halo 5. Was Halo 5, like TRS said, like Halo was the game of Microsoft, right?
Right.
And Halo 1 and 2 did it. Halo 3 came out and was the all of all. When 5 came out for this generation, did you feel that greatness? Neverland. That's a good question for Neverland. But here's what I want to do. Let me get into these shows. And I don't know if you got an opportunity to see all of them or probably just some of them. I think you saw maybe a couple of the main ones, TRS. But I'll reflect on them and you give me your thoughts, whether you saw them or not. And then we could talk about it. And then we can wrap it up with the state of Xbox. Because I really want to talk about that. Because this is called the E3 Extravaganza Winners and Losers. And Microsoft is definitely one of them. And I want to talk about which one it is. But if that's cool with you, does that sound good, bro?
That's good.
All right. So, talking to Microsoft, being that we brought them up, let's bring them up. So, Microsoft had, and I recorded everything. So, Microsoft had tweeted that they were going to show about 18 exclusive items and all this other stuff. And I don't have 18 counted. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11. So what Microsoft did is, and I mean, I'm not going to blame. A lot of people do it. It was they did 11, and they played semantics. So they may have shown 7 other pick me up pixel games in like a flash barrage. You know what I'm saying, like a flash bomb of games or whatever. But there was 11 exclusive games. So let me go over those 11 exclusive games they talked about. They talked about Halo Infinite, the family portrait with the rhino in the background. Crackdown 3 with Terry Crews, the better animated Terry Crews. They talked about more Sea of Thieves, trash. Forza Horizon 4 looks phenomenal, but I don't play racing games. Do you play racing games, TRS?
No, I do not. Trash.
The majority of people don't play racing games. PUBG, which is already out, right, and it's still in game preview, and it runs at 2 frames per second. They had a game called Session, which I don't even think that this was an exclusive, so I might even be wrong about this. They had Black Desert, which is an MMO. I heard a lot of decent things about that. They have Cuphead, which is already out, but they're talking about an expansion.
Yeah, that expansion, yep.
Tunic. I like Tunic. It reminded you, Tunic was that game where the fox kind of played like Zelda. And remember when he climbed to the top of the tower and there was that big Sphinx type of character that turned around?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was dope. Even though it wasn't like AAA, super fan. And from what I understand, there's one guy that developed that game. So that's all. I mean, that's awesome. That's cool. That's something that I wouldn't mind paying $10, $15 for. And Battletoads. Look, TRS, help me out. But before I get there, let me go to Neverland, because we asked him a question and he answered it. And he says he thinks that multiplayer on Halo 5 was the worst. He said it was an embarrassment. And then he says, an unpopular opinion, but I love playing Halo 4 multiplayer. You know what I mean? I thought Halo 4 was decent. Halo 4 was decent. I'm not a big Halo multiplayer type of guy, but that's what Halo's about. You know what I'm saying? And this is where it's important for Microsoft. Like, you got people like Neverland that is willing, he's not abandoning his system, but he's willing to cross over and go to your platform for a game. You know what I'm saying? He's a hardcore PlayStation guy. So when you have situations like that, like how God of War pulled a lot of people, I mean, that was the thing this generation. Everybody picked up a PlayStation 4 to say they could play God of War. I got rhymes. But you know what I'm saying? Like, when you have situations like that with people like Neverland, you got to, that is your, if you're down and out, that's your money shot. You know what I'm saying? That's your money shot, and you gotta keep, like TRS said. If all you got for your system is collard greens and potatoes, then when you release collard greens and potatoes, that better be the best goddamn thing ever. You never come half-ass with your staple. You know what I mean? Especially when it has the potential of pulling people over. But thank you for answering that question, Neverland. So that was in Gears 5. Gears 5 looked fantastic. But with that said, okay, that was everything. Nothing. There was no new. Oh, okay. Battletoads. What the fuck is this? What is up with Battletoads? Why do people love Battletoads so much? Do you understand this, DRS?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I do kind of understand it. All right, let's go back to when that came out. All right, that came out as the answer to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had the martial arts and the swords and the nunchucks and all that stuff. And then it came out with its own video game. Oh, these anthropomorphic animals are hot. Can we do it too? So what happens is they come out, then they use frogs to make it a little. What made it so famous, and I was just explaining this to Chicken Hawk earlier today, because when I was looking at E3, she happened to sit down when I was doing a review of the E3. She happened to sit down, and she sat down during the Battletoads part, and she said, why do they exist?" and it was because, yes, it was a copy of Turtles, but what made it so cool is that unlike Turtles, it had like straight up brawler type fighting. It didn't have the ninjutsu and all. It had straight up exaggerated fighting moves, like a big fist in your jaw, the size of your face. You know, and stuff. It had all that crazy stuff. Plus, it was the first game, like a fighter game. Well, one of them. If there was one before it, let me know. But it was the first fighter game I ever played where you could jump on vehicles. So, you know, it had a lot of little hover boats and all that kind of stuff to it. So it took it to the next level with the 2D fighter. And that's when I actually liked it myself. So it was pretty cool. But I don't think that a game like that should return. That's my only thing. I mean, yeah, that's like bringing back Toxic Crusader to video games.
Exactly. You know, come on, man. No, it was good for the window it was in. That's it.
Yeah, it was good for that window. Let's not bring back the B movie type video game. You know, okay. What's next on the Xbox? Sharknado.
Yeah, sure.
Sharknado is the next.
Like, but TRS, man, these mugs is going crazy over Battletoads, man. And I would see it, and I would look at that, and to me, it was just the silliest, stupidest shit that I've ever seen in my life. But you know, maybe it's just me.
It's well, maybe the kids might like it because it was fun for us when I was like 10. I mean, it was cool. 10, 11. Or when did Turtles come out? Because it came out like shortly after Turtles. Oh, you're going to use turtles? We're going to use frogs.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like that. You know what I mean? And it became so famous that they started doing spin-offs, Battletoads meets Double Dragon and stuff like that, where the Double Dragons fought with the Battletoads.
Yeah.
Remember that for NES?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going back.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are like old. Battletoads reminds me of that old B movie you remember and you joke about, but you don't want to sit and watch.
You don't want to see that shit again. Yeah. It's like watching. I hate to say it. It's like watching Big Trouble in Little China again.
Yeah.
You know, back then in the 80s, that was some mystical, magical shit.
That's exactly what it feels like. Yep.
Yeah, it was some ooh shit. It was some mystical, magical shit. But you sitting there trying to pull that up now and suffer through all that, you're like, what the hell is it?
You know what? Seeing Ninja Turtles again is like Big Trouble in Little China. Whenever they remake it, Battletoads is more like that He-Man movie with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh my god. No! Oh man, that's crazy. But yeah, I just couldn't understand it. So, all right. So with that being said, that was all the exclusive games from Microsoft. Here's what I thought were the best things from Microsoft. The best things that to me from Microsoft were, I'm gonna go in order. Was Sekiro Shadows Twice. That was that game by the
Shadows Die Twice. Yep.
Yeah, dude. Oh man. That was, and I don't even like, that's by the people that make Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I don't even like Dark Souls.
Oh, it's by them?
Yes, by them.
Dark Souls is the devil. God, why did you tell me that? Oh.
Yeah. I don't even like Dark Souls, but that shit I will get. Yeah, I'm getting that, man. I'm going to talk about Fallout 76 later. Only Fallout 76 showed here. Okay, I'm going to talk about that later. What else was there? I'm looking at everything that I gave an 8 to. Shadow the Tomb Raider.
Okay.
That looked good. Let me see here. Devil May Cry 5. Oh
That
my.
looked good.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
That's one of those games where I'm talking about, hey, could this give me the same hope as BioShock?
Yeah.
That's one of the ones too that gave that to me. That was nice.
This is Neverland is cutting up in the chat, man. He careful. So, talking about people from across the pond. Let me see here. All right, so yeah, and then Tunic. I like Tunic. I gave that an 8.
Yeah.
I like that. That was cool. You know, it brought me Zelda. Even though unpopular comment, I wasn't the biggest Zelda fan. I don't know about you.
Zelda.
Yeah, the original Zeldas, like the Link in the Past and the Future, up down the steps. I don't know what the one that was in the gold cartridge, the second one.
There was only 3 that I tried to do. I beat the first one, couldn't beat the second one, and the Ocarina got my interest.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Because that was what was that? N64 or something.
Was that 64? I think it was N64.
Yeah. So there was that. There's Gears 5, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know why I gave Cyberpunk.
You didn't think anything about that Metro?
Metro, I gave a 7.3. Here's why. Because the presentation that they gave last year was better. It was a lot better. It was a lot more exciting than what we saw this E3. So because it was bumped down, like you got to see last good. That's the and to me that's a shame because from all accounts from what I hear that's a fantastic looking game. Now let me get into. I want to talk about this a little bit. Fallout 76. Okay, Fallout 76. And I'll get your thoughts on it too, TRS. Fallout 76 to me is of my top 3 games that I'm waiting for this generation. No doubt. It's going to blow my fucking mind, melt the skin off the side of my face.
Nice.
Like the stock exchange, nice.
Right.
The stock exchange, nice. But my problem at this conference was, this is where I'm still antsy. I still have anxiety about Microsoft. So you have Todd Howard, right? That little curly head ingenious bastard. He's the American Kojima, okay? Kojima's just a fucking weirdo. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. Kojima is
say old school or new school Kojima.
No, this new and bred Kojima. Okay. Kojima, the new and bred Kojima is a fucking weirdo. All right.
Yeah.
Big ups to my man Super G, part of the Smash podcast.
Oh,
I hope you don't mind me telling this story, bro, but I'm only telling it because K Mega told it. Told us.
I love Smash Podcast.
Yeah, Smash Podcast is the shit. Big ups to my, but they were all at E3. No. Well, Super and Bloody Knuckles made it to E3. And Bloody Knuckles did a show with me, a pre E3 show. I appreciate it, even though I was having technical difficulties. So true story. You can look it up. And K Mega accounts this too. So Kojima's walking through E3. All right, this is E3. Okay, this is not fucking World Series. This is not the Mall of America. This is E3. And he got bodyguards around him. Okay. So Supra, Supra's a cool dude. Supra goes to take a picture. He didn't go to shake his hand or kiss him on the neck or whatever. He just went to go take a picture. Fucking bodyguard goes and pushes the phone back like, no pictures. And Kojima from the side gives like a little thumbs up. Now, to me, that's bullshit, okay? Like, have we gotten to that point in games where it's not look, I know there's weirdos. I know there's weirdos in our profession. I know there's weirdos, all right? And I'm not upset because he had to have bodyguards. My question, TRS, for you is, you can't take pictures of this motherfucker? Like, why? What's going on? Help me understand.
The first thing that I think of with that is that the eccentric meter has gone off in my head when you started talking about that. I think that does he feel he's at the level of a Prince or
I guess so.
I don't know. What was his name? They used to do art. The albino guy, Andy Warhol.
Yeah, and yeah.
Is he the video game Andy Warhol now? I mean, I don't know.
But I tell you this much.
No pictures, please. Why? You haven't really done shit.
Thank you. Fucking Death Stranding. Death Stranding looked like a mix between Metal Gear Survive and fucking Twilight Zone. What was that shit? Fucking shit. It was Metal Gear Solid with ghosts and apparitions. That's all it is. What? I mean, Kojima, you got this big expensive engine, the Decima engine or whatever the hell it's called. They plug money and millions and millions of dollars into this. All these crazy ass trailers with people eating baby legs and shit like that. And the best you could come up with is I'm ducking from apparitions like I'm fucking Solid Snake on the Twilight Zone? Come on. And you got bodyguards? No, our eyeballs need and our brains need bodyguards from your dumb shit. Stop it.
Can I ask you why? I mean, why were the bodyguards about? What has he done?
I don't know, man. I don't know. He must have threatened somebody's mom at the Hucklebuck. I don't know what he did.
You know what? Something might be a hit, and I just don't know because I wasn't paying attention. What was the hit?
You know what? To be honest with you, the guy that hosts all the YouTube shows, Jeff Keighley, dude, he rides his nutsack.
Maybe those guards are for him.
Yeah, I think they're for him. This dude went to Japan and learned Japanese so he could hang out with Kojima. So maybe the guards were for Jackoff Keighley. Is what I like to call him. I don't know, but I just thought that was shitty. Like, don't take any pictures. What the fuck? You know, that was horrible. So yeah, you rethink that, Kojima, because like right now I think that Rockstar status is in question because Death Stranding looked like Idea Stranded. Like, what the fuck is it? Nobody knows what's going on there, including yourself, I'm willing to bet.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all when you said that. Wow.
Yeah. Just
what have you done? Maybe I'm missing something. I'll start checking out his stuff.
Yeah.
Too bad they don't have Blockbuster Video where you can just rent stuff.
Yeah, just check it. Yeah.
Just check it out.
I mean, there's nothing, dude. No, you're not. You didn't miss anything. What
that's an awesome game. I want to make love to him too.
Yeah. I want to American Pie it. I want to American Pie. I want to American Pie it. Fucking going on. They're going off on some Kojima discs. They just stack them up and shit and go ham on it like it's that scene off American Pie, man. I'm telling you.
Oh my god.
Just whacking away at that motherfucker. But no, what it is, TRS is, you know, this. Hey, look, man, we tell it the way it is. We're not millennials. This is an older gamers podcast. Everybody's welcome, but yo, we spit that knowledge for y'all. It's the millennials, man. You know, the millennials gotta love something. They gotta have something that they love more than themselves, right?
Me too.
Yeah. And Kojima happens to be it. Millennials gotta have. I love this more. I will die for it. They gotta have something. They want to kill. They gotta have something. They gotta have that something. They'll kill themselves over. You know what I'm saying?
I think I understand now. I you're referring to them. Okay.
Yeah.
No. The reason why, no, I'm not. No offense to them, but what I'm just saying, I'm just assuming that maybe it's because what he's doing now is phenomenal for them. They are not aware too much of what we went through with him.
No, bro. They look. You know what these millennials do, man? They pick. Okay, for instance, we grew up knowing that the top 3 MCs were KRS-One. You know what I'm saying? KRS-One, maybe Rakim, and I'll just throw Big Daddy Kane up there. You know what I'm saying? And you can mix and match up, but you know, of that caliber, those are the best MCs. Right. Just imagine if somebody came and said, you know what? No, the best MC was, what's the name, from Arrested Development. You know what I mean? Like, they just randomly picked somebody that had some popularity. Yeah, preach. They'll randomly pick somebody that has some popularity from before time that they came from, and then they just idolize that motherfucker. And Kojima just happens to be that dude because he's still around.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't understand that in our time, We did not idolize Kojima like that when he was on top of his fucking game.
And he was a beast back then.
And he was a beast.
Still.
Yeah, when he was a beast, we were like, oh, Metal Gear Solid was okay. We did not give a fuck about this dude like how y'all do now. But the millennials now want to have somebody they'll kill themselves over. It's that emo shit. And they say the emo era is over. The hell it is. There is no reason why this man should feel comfortable with walking around with bodyguards without knowing that he's going to get ridiculed. He feels that he has that buffer because of y'all. Y'all made it seem that way, that he can walk around and build up his status self-consciously to have the nerve to walk around E3 with bodyguards because of y'all. He did it, like TRS said, he did his best work when we were growing up. Motherfucker's a weirdo, okay? That's all it was. He was a weirdo, and his weirdness translated well in games. In the story.
Exactly. Shit. What happened there?
Exactly.
What happened there? Why didn't it still translate?
I don't understand, man. But with that being said, Kojima has a very close relationship with Sony. Okay, and Sony part of it has boosted him up. Yeah, one of the former execs there, Andrew House. I mean, he, him and Kojima, they were like this son, as Dave Chappelle say on his, on the show, crossing his fingers. We were like this son. And my question is, and then they're funding Death Stranding. They're funding Kojima. When Kojima got kicked out of Konami, they got tired of his shit. Like, dude, you're a fucking weirdo. Get out of here. They just kicked his ass out. And they said, we know what you're about to do. And they took his formula and made Metal Gear survive. And that's basically what you're seeing in Death Stranding. But with that being said, they kicked him the fuck out. And Kojima really had nowhere to go. And his friends at Sony helped him out. They're funding this game. They gave him the engine. They're doing all this stuff. And they're not really getting anything in it. So they try to make it seem like that it's just a running joke that they, ha, ha, ha. This game doesn't mean anything yet. Ha, 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 ha. But deep down inside, they're burning up. Sony's burning up about this. I don't care what anybody says. This is Andrew House's boy. And this is probably part of the reasons why Andrew House isn't there anymore either. So with that said, you got that relationship there with somebody that really is just a fictitious gaming rock star, right? But you have a true gaming rock star and Todd Howard, the creative designer behind Fallout, right? And Bethesda, the head honcho, the head motherfucker in charge at Bethesda. How does Todd Howard not show up? I mean, how does Todd Howard show up at Microsoft and not get the red carpet treatment? You know what I mean? Because when he got the red carpet treatment before he was anybody, really, and we got Fallout 3, that was a big blow. That, changed the tides. I don't know if you remember, TRS. That changed the tides for Microsoft. And when a big-ass fucking game like Fallout 3 was shown on the stage, that meant a lot. That meant, Microsoft is a top contender. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then I think there was exclusive content or something like that came with Microsoft for Fallout 3. When this dude comes to town, you need to throw rose petals at his feet. So you get that same love bro fest that Kojima has with with Sony, because Todd Howard is still doing great shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my problem is that Todd Howard came out to the show Fallout 76 before he showed it on his own stage. There should have been power. Man, whatever they call that shit, there should have been shit flying everywhere. Copies of Fallout 76 with wings attached to it, surgically attached, flying in it. And then there should have been, look, before he came out on stage, Todd, we'll give you $75 million if you make this an exclusive for 6 months, or you give us an exclusive level, or you do something fancy dandy for us. You know what I mean? To me, it felt like you wasted the man's time because you just wanted him to come on stage and just show himself. That worked for you last generation, because last generation you had to prove yourself. You're already proven. So now things have to come. When you get these big names, it has to come to fruition. And that is my frustration with Microsoft. Like, how come for Fallout 76, with the relationship that Todd had established and Bethesda had established with Microsoft last generation, how Phil Spencer can fuck this up so much that there is nothing coming to Microsoft except early access to a fucking beta. We get to play the beta 3 minutes before PlayStation and shit. And then knowing Xbox Live will probably be down for 10 of those 3 minutes and shit.
Right.
But what do you think, TRS? What are your thoughts on that? Like, am I just being crazy, or should they have come out with something exclusive for Microsoft? Was that a must?
When you actually listen to what they're saying, you would think everything was exclusive.
Yeah.
but it's actually not. And like I said, I'm coming from the I just want a good game format, so I can actually be bullshitted a good deal. So when I'm listening to everything they're doing and they say exclusive, I'm actually thinking that you're only going to see these games on this console, period.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wrong.
Yep.
As I do more investigation and things like that, I'm learning I'm wrong. There's going to be some kind of period, and then they're actually going to give it to another console like PS4 or something like that after a certain period of time. That it's absolute bullshit, because from what I've been seeing with PS4, a lot of their exclusives stay
exclusives, yeah, or
they stay over.
By the time they're not exclusives anymore, nobody gives a fuck anymore.
Nobody gives a shit. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that, and this kind of, for me, this goes back to the Halo and things like that, where those kind of games should always be like the spearheader. There's really no real spearheader for Microsoft unless there's something I'm missing. But when I think of that, I think Halo should have been that. All the different versions that they did, one with the RPG elements and whatnot, there's no spearheader. So I don't know what, there's a method to their madness. I don't know what it is, because there's really no exclusives for them.
Yeah.
So it's confusing for me. Do I think they should have them? Absolutely. I mean, I'll buy both consoles. It's fine. Yeah, and I'll check the exclusives. That's cool.
I just don't understand how you have, I don't know, man. I don't know. You have that exclusive relationship that was established last generation. You both have grown together. You've grown to now, bump heads with Sony. He's grown to be known as the legitimate Kojima. That's legitimate Kojima. LK.
Perfect Kojima.
Yeah, that's perfect Kojima. Yeah, that's perfect Kojima.
I am American now.
And you don't have that type of relationship with them where games something fruitful comes out of it. I get it. You guys may have bagels together and all other shit, and some Seattle's best. You might spill it on your jeans and he might wipe them off your kneecap. I don't know. But that relationship isn't fruitful for us, the gamer. And if it was me, man, I'd be throwing rose petal at the motherfucker's feet. Sorry.
I got comfortable with exclusive games about 2 or 3 console generations ago. I finally realized as I got older, okay, the exclusives, are they not lucrative?
Yeah.
To have exclusive? So Xbox should definitely have exclusive at the same impact as PS4.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
They should.
I totally agree. And the simple fact that they're trying to push things like this fucking Game Pass, like, how do you push that, right? Unless you have a legitimate, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to make this available on multiple platforms, like, phones and tablets and shit like that. But when you think of something like that, then you got to have content like Netflix or like Steam. And if you don't have exclusive content pumping out good exclusive content, right, that's different from where anybody else can get it, stuff that people want to play and is different and unique, then there's no point to this. And you had something different and unique with the AAA sci-fi shooter that put you on the stage. Like, I don't understand why they abandoned that, but it is what it is. Overall, TRS, let me do this real quick because I was supposed to have this simulcast on PNTS Network, and I'm slipping. So let me just do this real quick. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. My apologies, people. Right now, if you go to the PNTS Network, All right, let me say that again. If you go to the pntsnetwork.com, you will see that this is being simulcast there. So go to pntsnetwork.com and you can go on the ScramPunks page, and you'll see this there. You can also see it on our E3 2018 page. All right, so here's what I gave Microsoft altogether. I gave the show a 7. No, I'm sorry, I'm lying. I gave the show a 6. I took a point away. It averaged out to a 7, but I took a point away. Here's why I took a point away. I took a point away because Microsoft's problem. So, like when you have a showcase, and we could talk about the business side of it. When you have a showcase, it's not, you can't just come on the scene out of nowhere, right, TRS, and say, hey, look, I'm car developer, or hey, I'm computer maker, hey, and nobody, and your history isn't put into account. I am selling this product, hey, you can't do that. Like, people want to say, oh, okay, that device looks cool, or what you're trying to sell looks cool, but, where the fuck where did you come from? You know what I'm saying? So so whenever you're doing a showcase, your history has to be taken into account. So Microsoft's history this generation was that they started off okay as far as having a games lineup, but then the other things that they were trying to do with the TV and the Kinect, like, kind of fell flat, and the generation was flat altogether. But now you have Sony appeasing its fans, and Microsoft really not pushing the generation for a lot of its hardcore fans. So they're ready to jump ship, like myself. This isn't something that I just created by myself. There's a lot of people ready to jump ship. And so Microsoft had to come into this E3 not to appease the people that are already happy. The people that are already happy are happy. You had to, I think, give them a little something, but also start bringing back those people that are ready to abandon ship. And I don't think they did enough to appease the people that are ready to abandon ship, because my thing is, why are you can't just be happy showing games that I can play elsewhere. You have to show me, like when TRS was asking MM2K, why should I buy an Xbox One X? And I tell him it looks great. But he's like, it's $500. Why should I buy an Xbox One X? And I tell him about the compute units and the fidelity and the polygons. And then he sees God of War on a $200 PS4 Slim. And he says, MM2K, that God of War on a 200 PS4 Slim looks better than any game on that $500 console. Can you explain to me why? And then I got to turn to him and say, well, that's a first-party game, TRS. And first-party developers are usually the best developers on said console because they work for the company. They know who knows the console better than the people that work at the company. And then TRS is going to turn to me and say, okay, well, where are those people at for the Xbox One X? And then I tell TRS to look over there at Stevie Wonder, and then I run away because I have nothing else to tell him. You know what I'm saying? So my point being is Microsoft did not do what they needed to do for those people that paid $500 for the Xbox One X, that have been hanging on and say, look, just wait till E3, wait till Comic-Con, wait for Tokyo Con, wait for Con Air. For all those people that was just waiting by, they didn't do enough for me. You know what I'm saying? So because they had an objective that they needed to reach, which is to walk people off the ledge, and I don't think they've done that because they didn't show a vision. They just showed you, look, I'll put it to you like this. Microsoft, and I'm done talking about Microsoft after this, and I'll let TRS say something. But Microsoft reminds me, say if you're stranded in the desert, right? Lips chapped to the motherfucker. They so chapped, you could kiss a turkey and cut up turkey for 12, all right? And then somebody walks up to you, and they're like, oh, you look thirsty, man. Like you're lost. Here's a little driplet of water. And they open up a canteen and like 4 or 5 drops just drop on your mouth. And you're like, oh, this is beautiful. This is actual water. Where'd you get that from? And they say, come follow me. Greatness awaits. And then somebody from Sony. Yeah, exactly.
Drop in your mouth. Come follow me.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever their logo sounds, you know. And then you walk up to them and you got because they gave you the little driblets. You're like, damn, okay. There's something for me here, all right? But then comes Microsoft, okay? So then you're in the same scenario. Lips dry enough to kiss the turkey, cut it up into 12 portions, right? Here comes Microsoft. And Microsoft says, look, you thirsty? You look lost. Hey, look down there. You see that mirage down there? It's not a mirage. It's actually water. You got to keep walking towards that. You'll eventually get some water. Please believe me. Here, to show you that I'm an honest broker, here goes 5 brand new cups. 5 brand new solo cups that we've acquired just for your drinking pleasure. Keep walking towards that mirage. You'll get there, buddy. You're walking towards a mirage. You never get the water, but you just get the promise of the water. They do everything. They give you everything but the water. They give you the cups. You know what I'm saying? They'll do all this nice shit, give you t-shirts, give you swag, give you battle toads, but they won't give you what you're looking for.
Give you battle toads.
We were looking for the AAA sci-fi shooters and the AAA bangers, man. And they just gave you 5 empty red solo cups and told you to walk towards a mirage. I mean, I don't know what else to say about Microsoft, but I want my Microsoft people out there that are damage controlling for them. Look, it's different for TRS. TRS loves the Ubisoft and, loves the Bethesda like me. And that's what he's, looking forward to. But for y'all to think that these exclusives are coming, you're walking towards a mirage. And you got to understand Microsoft is doing everything that they can to keep you walking towards that mirage because they're just about making money. That's it. Final thoughts, TRS, before we move on?
My biggest thought, and don't forget, I still have hope in the third company. I still have hope in Bungie Vision.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people say, "Oh, that goddamn fanboy," but you know what? I love a good high octane sci-fi odyssey. Yep. So yeah, I still have hope. If they say it's going to be good, let's see what happens. I'll pay for it. That's fine. But my biggest thing, my biggest problem with E3 is I'm an old school gamer, and because of that, you're not going to get me excited with a lot of cinema. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get me excited by telling me, "Oh, this new game comes out. Take a look," and all you show me is the extended intro. Yeah, I want to see the gameplay. I want to see how it's played. I want to see the different abilities. So these E3, the past 2 E3s really haven't been getting me because most of them have been like long intros, and I'm like, show me the damn game. Mm-hmm. So that's my only issue with it. But other than that, I'm a little excited about what's coming out because it seems more of a collection geared towards what I like now. But just stop showing me the extended intros and show me the game. Yeah, that's it.
Look, we're too far ahead in the generation for you to have marketing rights, and then that appeases us. Like, marketing rights are something that you can fight for at the beginning of a generation because they get you hyped for the generation. The generation's almost over, okay? The generation is almost over. You must now have games, or you must have exclusive content. So showing Cyberpunk 2077 on your stage means nothing if they're going to show it again somewhere else, okay? And then you have nothing exclusive for Cyberpunk 2077, except for the fact that your logo shows up on the commercial. That's it. Are there any extra levels? Is there something that you're working on? And my problem is that Phil said crazy things like, I don't like holding content exclusive from other gamers. Like he works, like he's a shadow agent for Sony. Your job is not to worry about what Sony's consumers have. That's for Sony to worry about. And that's something that he said, so I can't get over that feeling. And again, you are at the desert, and what Microsoft is giving you is 5 red solo cups, and they're telling you to keep walking towards that mirage. We don't know what Microsoft is going to do with these 5 new studios, okay? Because look at Sea of Thieves, goddammit. That's dog shit. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I digress, and I move on. So, next in show, did you get a chance to see Ubisoft?
No, I did not.
We'll skip Ubisoft. The only thing I'll say about Ubisoft TRS is that Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It looks godly. All right, so the next show, Microsoft had the nerve to have an Inside Xbox too, they had an Inside Xbox show, and it was cheese. It was ass milk, if I could use my
ass milk.
Yes, my puns from what's the name of that movie? Oh shit, I forgot. But The Hangover. If I could use some of my hangover puns, it was ass cheese. They had a game called Vigor, which is like another survival game that looked somewhat interesting, but whatever. Sony's E3. Did you get a chance to see Sony's?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it did.
So, Last of Us 2 looked fantastic to me. Spider-Man looked good. I don't know. Were you a big Resident Evil 2 person?
Resident Evil 2, yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I actually was. Absolutely.
Okay, so
and I was impressed with the Spider-Man.
Okay. And that's it. That's it for me. Anything else, I really didn't care for. I gave the show a 6.5. Now, with that being said, and I only have 10 items here, opposed to I had like 36 items altogether for Microsoft. So with that being said, I only like 2 games. I named about 6 games there in Microsoft's conference. The problem is that Sony's ahead 2.5 to 1. They don't really, I mean, they should, but they really don't need to do anything else because their consumers are happy. Their consumers got God of War. They're getting Spider-Man. They know Ghost of Tsushima's coming out and all these other games. And then that Last of Us 2, man. I don't know. What did you think about that, man?
And that's the thing about PlayStation, man. I know it's a good system. I know it's satisfying. It's fan base and whatnot. But games like Last of Us and things like that, right now they do nothing for me.
Yeah.
And I know that's your thing. And one thing I noticed about PlayStation, and the sad thing is I started off with PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the main thing that I get with PlayStation right now, their selection of games that they show me aren't anything really for me. You know what I mean? But I'm sure there's a lot of games on there that I would like. They just don't show them to me. Where Xbox always shows me the ones that I really like.
No, I look, I completely understand that.
PlayStation's doing a good job. They are. I'm different from the game that your basic mainstream gamer.
Yeah.
PlayStation caters to that. They advertise that, all that stuff. I'm the guy. I'm the underground dude that likes certain specific underground stuff. You know what I mean? And surprisingly, for some bizarre reason, Xbox showcase a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, they have, and that's my thing. I am the same way too. I love the underground games. They showcase them more than PlayStation, but I don't think they showcase them enough.
They don't showcase them enough. No,
they're not showing. As of late, they haven't been showcasing them enough as of late, and that's a problem. So I just want them to, and a lot of it I think is because of Phil. But with that said, I think Last of Us 2 looked great. Spider-Man 2, I think if I'm basing it off of, and you know what? And when I say that TRS, that Last of Us 2 looked great, it looked great because it reminded me of Rise of the Tomb Raider, and it looked a little bit better. The problem is that I don't like Sony games. I don't like Naughty Dog or whatever. So if that trailer is indicative of what the game is truly about, I don't know if you heard it was clouded in rumor. A group called Digital Foundry came out today and said, no, we don't think the gameplay was fake. But there's a lot of people saying that gameplay was fake. That wasn't actual gameplay. Like it was pre-rendered, or what do you want? Scripted sequences made in game, but it wasn't actual gameplay. Like when you play the game, it's not going to play like that. So there's a lot of people talking about that, and then there's one group. Then Sony is saying that they have this new animation technology. But here's my thing: if you're at E3 and you got this new animation technology, why won't you demo it? Why couldn't people play it? You know what I'm saying? You know, like you had to look at that gameplay and think people were going to say something was funny about that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, until it's proven, we'll say that it was real gameplay. But then I don't know. I'm skeptical. They should have had a playable demo, at least. With that being said, I don't score Sony's showcase higher. I mean, that much higher. I give them a 6.5. It's still like a failing grade, because it was dog shit. But I gave them a slight edge only because they, they're in the lead and their consumers have confidence. And I get it. It's easier to please their consumers, but still, man, it is what it is. Microsoft, you're worth $500 billion. Not 500, not even 500 million. $500 billion. Your gaming sector alone last quarter brought in 2.5 billion. 2.5 billion. Like, what's the excuse? I'm not trying to hear it. So that's Sony's. PC Game Show. I know you didn't watch that.
No. But I'm interested in hearing your point of view on that. There
were 2 games that I actually gave an 8. Sable which just had this weird cartoonish animation to it. So that's the reason why I think I was just tired. I was, you know, they brought Zima's back out, right? So I was drunk as shit. Yes, I was. I think I was just tired. I don't think I meant to give that an 8, but it was interesting. It was an interesting little cartoony indie game. But the game that really impressed me, the only game that really impressed me, there was this game called Stormland, and it's a VR game, and it's made by Insomniac, the same people that made Ratchet and Clank. But it is an open world VR game, and it looks interesting, very interesting. And I'm not big on VR. That gimmick has not gotten a hold of me. People tell, oh, it's fantastic. I had Wags and D Batch telling me, oh, you want to play it, man? This is fantastic. I never fell onto that craze, but I will tell you this, that changed my mind. And the crazy thing about it is, it's not slotted for PS4's VR. It's only slotted for the Oculus Rift. And rumor has it that the Oculus Rift is soon coming to the Xbox. So it's a very interesting fact. I mean, what are your thoughts on VR?
Wow, it's been a long time since I've. I'm not. Remember? Do you remember the last VR device?
What was it? That Virtual Boy.
That one that was looked like a binocular, and you would play the ship shooter.
Oh yeah,
years ago. I'm interested in the finished product, which probably won't come out with VR until long after I'm dead. But I'm excited about the finished product that you see like in movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that isn't going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
So right now it's going to be all that limited VR. I'm not really, interested in that.
Yep. You put a perfect. You labeled that perfectly. Limited VR. Perfect.
If it was the way it was that you see in the movies when they first started talking about one day we'll invent VR, then I could see that where it actually feels like I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, most of the VR devices that I've used recently and in the past both feel like it's on my face. You know what I mean? And I'm not really there.
Yep.
But when it gets to that point where you feel like you're really there, you hook me up. Hook me up with that.
All right. And then last but not least, it was the Nintendo Direct. Did you watch Nintendo?
No, but I actually wanted to, because I just wanted to see what was going on with it, because I'm an old school Nintendo fan.
Yeah.
But most of the consoles have been shit to me. Yeah. So, but I am interested.
I mean, Super Smash Brothers was like the majority of the show, and they went over every single fucking character. And then they just did like flash shows of everything else. This Demon X Machina game looks interesting, but you know, there's nothing out there that was notable on that show. So here's what I did. I thought the showcase of the show was Bethesda. Thought they had the best showcase out of everybody. They gave the fans what they wanted. I mean, that fucking Rage 2, Fallout 76. Then they even mentioned Elder Scrolls 6. All they did was just took a picture from somewhere. But they mentioned, Elder Scrolls 6. And the fact that they mentioned that Elder Scrolls Blades concept, even though it sounds cheesy, that's very interesting to me. So that's why I gave them the game of the show. What are your thoughts? I thought they had the best showcase.
The best thing that I've heard so far about what's going on with Bethesda is the whole thing where they're trying to pretty much create the entire map of Tamriel, Cyrodiil, all that, like all of it online.
Wow.
So where you'll always, everything that's ever been in the lore, everything that's ever been in the books, all those locations that still exist, they will have them there. And that's the thing that excites me, because I'm a big Elder Scrolls fan. Yeah. And to be able to go around to all those different places.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're starting off with Burma, I think is what they're doing, or something like that. It starts with a B. I think it's Bruma.
Okay.
They're starting off with the first expansion. But that's the main thing that I'm interested in, is that whole Elder Scrolls Online, the whole damn planet they're going to have, eventually on there. It's taking its time. They're going to do it kind of like how Destiny does it. Oh, new DLC every half year. Will be a piece of the planet. But nevertheless, eventually I'll have the entire planet on my external hard drive. So that'll be pretty cool.
That'll be awesome.
The Blade, What was it called? That's something I wasn't
Elder
familiar
Scrolls
with.
Blade. So what that is it's a game. It's very simple mechanics, but it puts you in the mind of Elder Scrolls Online, right? And you basically have sword, shield, and some magical spells. And the format of it is very simple, but it moves and it plays like Elder Scrolls Online, and it's to the point to where because it's simple mechanics, you can play it on the phone, you can play it in VR, you can play it on your computer, you can play it on the console. It's interchangeable everywhere. So it's the first game that is like super multi-platform, and the purpose of it is for everybody to be able to play with everybody anywhere, regardless if you're on your phone, on a tablet, on a PC, VR, whatever the case may be. There's different experiences with the same game, and you got to see it. The concept of it was, to me, was pretty, was different. And I thought it was interesting. And also gave him the show for the simple fact, if you can resurrect a shitty game like Rage and make it look as great as you did with Rage 2, god damn it, you deserve the crown. I mean, Rage 2 looks fantastic, and I would have never guessed in a million years that they would have tried to make a sequel. I thought that game was shit, and id Software actually they shut me up. So that's why I gave them Game of the Show. Did you think Bethesda had the best showcase?
I loved it.
Yeah,
I actually loved it. But then again, I'm a Bethesda fiend.
Yeah.
So yeah, I loved it. And Rage, as a matter of fact, I know there's a lot of games that I enjoy that you may not like. So that's why I always try to say, let me try this first. Mm-hmm. And I never got a chance to really get into Rage, but I want to get into that too. Yeah. And see what that's all about. So I'll probably do that on Game Pass if it's available.
Try. I mean, I didn't like it. People say that when you get like towards the latter half, it gets so much better. For me, I think when I got to the latter half, I was just so drawn out by it that it really didn't do much for me. But I could be wrong. So give it a shot. It's on Game Pass. Cool. And here goes my games. I had 5, but you don't have to have 5 TRS. Maybe if you just mentioned one, or if you have 5, great. But my 5 games, going from 5 to 1, is that Stormland was number 5 for me. Something about that Stormland, you got to see that it was just interesting to me, and that was that Oculus Rift VR open world game. Number 4 was Dying Light 2. Oh, the zombie game.
There it is. There it is.
That
was taking my soul.
Yeah, that right there.
Okay.
That whole concept. Oh my. That was that's what I'm talking about. That's what the hell I'm talking about. Number 3, and this was hard. 3 and 2 were hard, man. But I 3 only because this is number 3 only because number 2 is actually is within a genre that's more MM2K. But number 3 was Devil May Cry 5. Yeah. Devil May Cry 5 was fantastic. Oh my! I've never cared for Devil May Cry. It did nothing for me. But when I saw 5, I said, "Holy shit!" So that's the day one buy for me. Number 2 is that Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The reason why that edged out Devil May Cry 5 for me was because it's the first Assassin's Creed to where it looks like that you ain't got to be stealth all the goddamn time. And okay. I don't mind stealth, but a game that's centered around stealth, to me, like, I don't like the what's that group, Arkham? They make games for Bethesda. I forgot the name of the games that they make, but I don't like their games. They made Prey 2. They made that new Prey. Okay. I don't like their games. They're like based on stealth and they're real slow paced. I don't like that shit. And Assassin's Creed was in that arena in my book. Except for this one, it looks like it's a straight open world RPG, like action RPG. And it took my soul. So you definitely want to see that. And drum roll, please. The number 1 game. I hate to say it, TRS. I know you're not going to agree, but I can't. I'm sorry, man. That gameplay, fake or not, looked good. That Last of Us 2. That Last of Us 2 just When I saw that shit, I said, man, what the fuck? And if the game is fluid and it moves like that, and it's consistently action packed like that, instead of just being a hug me tearjerker game that Sony loves to do, then they got an ultimate hit on their hands. So those are my 5 games. Did you have like a top game or top 3 or whatever the case may be?
Not so much. What I more had was just my opinion on certain ones. I mean, Fallout looked very interesting. Especially the main thing with Fallout for me was the online co-op. That's what grabbed me. It felt like it was going to be Fallout 4 online. I may be wrong. You know, it's a big improvement from it. So let's see. But when I saw it, it looked like, okay, online Fallout 4. That's what it looked like to me. The Terry Crews Crackdown 3. I'm going to be honest with you. That looked like it would be a really good game. The only problem is because Terry Crews, I guess, is the main guy in it, they couldn't make it an epic, serious advertisement for that shit. They had to do the goofy dude talking his stuff. You know, hype man, blah, blah, blah. That looked like a game that should have had like a more serious... You know, every other game had a serious thing. Then you do the one with Terry Crews, and it's it's funny. I say funny joke during a fight. You know, I'm like, no. No, that looks serious. And I can see myself playing that. You know, Division 2 looked good. I still got to get into 1.
1's in Game Pass now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, so I didn't realize that. Okay. Sea of Thieves. I might like it. It just doesn't grab me. There's a lot of games.
You're not gonna like Sea of Thieves.
I don't know. You know, pirates. I mean, it might be pirates.
Dude, no, it's an insult, dude. And the big, not to cut you off, but I'll make this real quick. The thing that bewilders me is that we had a game like Pirates. What did that came out? 1993, right? And it's more in depth than that game, a 2018 game. So 25 years later,
wow,
you have a game that's way more shallow. It's horrible. It's horrible. Don't even waste your time. I mean, you can try. It's on Game Pass. Try it, but
I have no interest. Surprisingly, what I do have interest in is the Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, yeah.
I definitely want to get into that because it looks so much like the original, just like a new saga. You know what I mean? And I love the original. Just Cause 4, I definitely fuck with that. Yeah. I gotta. You know, I've got 1 to 3 on my Xbox and haven't played any of them yet.
Okay, yeah.
But I will get into it. I haven't had much time. Damn it, Far Cry 5. Yeah, I mean,
I gotta get back into that. Man.
That's got me in now, man. And I'm gonna need your assistance soon because everybody's gone but the main boss. And
I gotta get rid of. I'm gonna finish up this God of War this week, definitely.
Oh, you're still on that,
dude? This game is. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm making the announcement now. I'm about to just. I was playing on challenge me mode, and I get it. I get it. Game. I get it. I'm bumping it down to regular mode. It's just that normal Sony games are super easy, so I got to put it on a second to hardest setting. No. This ain't like the tip. So I'm gonna bump it down and I'm gonna beat the shit out of this game and get rid of it. So.
Well, there isn't much. I don't think it's possible for me to give my opinion on this one particular game because censorship on this show isn't powerful enough for me to be able to say the comments that I feel about this game, Captain Spirit. I think that my comments might be considered rated X.
Dog shit. No, that's
but I'm gonna, yeah. I don't think I've even seen enough nickels.
That fucking Murphy Brown banjo playing in the. I hate. You know what? Fuck it, man. I hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, dude. I've been gaming for 30 plus years. TRS a little bit longer. Man, this pull at my heartstring shit. That's for Netflix, man. What the fuck is this, dude?
That was my first reaction. What the fuck? When I seen it. And dude made sure while he was eating the hot dogs and the fritters, he made sure that he yelled out all heroically, "Exclusive."
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. This game, and then you'll get this game is fantastic, man. I love this game, man. No, fuck no. That's what Netflix is for. I'm sorry, TRS. Go ahead. My bad.
No. But that extension of Cuphead, I definitely want to get into that. Still
Yeah.
haven't beaten the first part of it yet. I did. The Game Pass catalog is getting larger. I'm trying to understand, what are they doing whenever a game comes out. They automatically put it free on Game Pass.
When a
Is that what they're
game
doing?
when a game that's published by Microsoft comes out,
Oh,
it
when it's published by
automatically.
Microsoft. Okay.
Mhm.
If I were to give a number one out of all my games, I don't even have a 2 and a 3, but if I were to give a number one, the one that grabbed me the most, well, the top two would be Devil May Cry and Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay.
Those,
Fallout 76, bro.
uh, not yet,
Not
because
yet,
right
yeah.
now it feels
Yep.
like an online 4.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You know what I mean? And I want to see
It's going
more.
to be solid. We know it's going to be solid. And this
And-
will be
right, I know it's going to be solid. I know Bethesda, what they're doing with Elder Scrolls is going to be solid. My intelligence gets insulted when you tell me it's a good games are coming out, and all you show me is a bunch of intros and a bunch of clips,
exactly.
and that kind of pisses me off a bit, to the point where I'm like, all right, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I just have to see more of
Yep.
Fallout. Fallout, I'm interested very much because I'm a Fallout fan, but every time I want to see what the game looks like, all of a sudden you start hearing old 40s music, and then it goes into some Pip-Boy shit. So I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's about time. Like, and you know what? Fallout 76, I don't mind. It's going to be, what do you call that? It's going to be my crutch game.
I'm definitely getting it.
You know what I'm saying, TRS? Like, it's going to be your crutch game
Mm-hmm.
for gamers like us. Like, when we know that there's that firestorm of bullshit games out there, that's the game that we know we can rely on. Kind of like how Far Cry 5 is right now. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it'll be Far Cry 5 is just a fantastic game.
Far Cry 5 is fire, but I will admit you just made a good point, because I'm actually playing Fallout 4 right now. It is my crutch.
Okay, yep. Yeah, it's your crutch game. Yep.
Yeah.
And so when you go out there and it's like, you're like, damn, it's dry as shit out out in these gaming streets. I know Fallout 76 will be that game that I'll go to and be like, I don't really feel like anything else, but this is what I can kill my time with.
And
right?
the idea of it being, multiple people playing,
Exactly.
that makes it even better. That makes me
Exactly.
want to buy it. You know what I mean?
We know that, but yeah. But as far as it being my top game of the show, now I'm right with you. It's going to be solid, but I'm right with you. That's man. The reactions, I got to send you some links. The reactions that people did, and I'm kind of pissed about this, that they've done this, but they've showed actual gameplay of Cyberpunk 2077 behind closed doors to only certain people. And
Okay.
people came out there and they were like, oh my God, this is like a mixture of Cowboy Bebop meets Ghost in the Shield meets something else. They said, I forgot what they said. And the way that Paris Lilly from Game Frick, I forgot the name of the podcast. Game Frick, yeah. Paris Lilly from Game Frick Radio. He said that about the game. So
It's a guy.
yes, again, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, look out for that one. But yeah, so yeah, very interesting, and it is the 11:16 hour. So I think we missed each other so much, TRS. I think it's time to wrap up. Unless you got something else that you wanted to go over.
No. I really don't have anything else, except for I was just shocked. This was my first time actually seeing Phil Spencer up close.
Okay.
With the intro, with Microsoft, it made it seem like he was about to introduce a new world of Microsoft exclusive titles that would blow your mind away, like the introduction opening of Disney World.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But he did state there were some new young innovators and storytellers, to include like a new visionary-based studio located in Santa Monica. So, they have Playground Studios and Compulsion Games. I don't know if that means anything. Different companies are coming in with them. But I do forget. What is it? What do you call it? Sekiro Shadow Die Twice.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that too. Now, is that open world?
I don't know. I think I heard that it was open world.
It felt like a open world Onimusha with no magic.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
With no magic.
Yep.
With no magic. With no powers.
So. Yeah, with no powers. I think it might be. I think it might be. All right. Well,
That's it.
With that said, people, this was episode 9 of ScramPunks podcast. We are back, baby. Check us out every Wednesday between 9:30 and 9:45 p.m. Eastern. With your boy TRS. And we got some special guests coming up. I'm not going to say anything, but we do got some special guests coming up. And we're looking to expand on the hosts of the show, so stay tuned. Also, if you want to keep up with the show, please go to www.pntsnetwork.com. We will soon be updating the webpage with our Best of E3 2018, with your boy rocking it out, doing, all the coverage of the E3 2018. Hey, man, I don't know if TRS, if you caught, I was, when you couldn't make it for the one show, I had to find a fill-in real quick. So guess who I got? I got Will from Xbox Uncut. So
nice.
we got Will from Xbox Uncut. It was a real short show, but he said he's going to do something with us later. Yep. So shout out to Will and shout out to Xbox Uncut. Big ups to everybody. Follow the links below. Follow the Broadband Bullies. But again, go to pntsnetwork.com for more information. We got some good stuff coming up for you. And some game streams and a whole bunch of other stuff. So with that being said, this was episode 9. We are back in the house.
I apologize for not being in the know on the ins and outs of the meat of the different companies like Will, but maybe you can dumb yourself down because I've come back.
He's back. He's back. Tony Saladas. All right. Well, with that being said, big ups to everybody. Thank you for joining us for another ScramPunks. TRS, Fusion Wolf, MM2K. We're out. As always, have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day.
Peace.
Peace.